Hello and welcome to the Decorus for Sage webinar. During this webinar I will explain the features that are available within Decorus Professional when you are upgrading from Decorus Essentials. A new dashboard view is available in most modules to give you an overview of information. And then back in your overview screen you can revert it back to your original list. Within the preference window, you now have module descriptions. So within here, you've got the option, you can change the descriptions of your modules. For example, you can change tenancy to lease. You can double click on either the record or timeline. You can view the list by either list or dashboard. And then also you can default your columns within each module to what preference you want to view. For example, if you want to take out benefit balance, you would just deselect that, click OK, then when you go into that module, that column wouldn't display. Another feature now within the workflow, besides tenancy workflow, you now have the option to set up for property, jobs, projects and contacts. Now looking at user definable fields. This function now allows you to set up additional user fields which can then be selected to appear as a column in the overview screen of each module. View that within select columns. It will add it as an additional item to the bottom of the list. So if you select that, that will now appear at the end there. You can also filter your views by using user views. This is one we added previously. So if alarm codes, we've just selected that we want to choose residential, and the columns that we've selected are just the alarm codes. So by selecting that, that will appear under user views in your side filters and just display what you've selected. Now going back into the preference window, with Decorus Professional, you now have the option to send emails out using your own SMTP details instead of Outlook. You would set the preference here. Once set, you would then go into the user list, and within here the sent by email address is determined by the email address entered. Also within the user list, other permissions, on an individual user basis you can set who you want to add, edit or delete a record within any of these modules. Also on the details screen you have additional user access rights. Additional features within the property module are, you now can create a fixed service charge which will be added to the reoccurring schedule items within the tenancy record, which I will explain later on in the demonstration. You now have the timelines record activity in the property and also appears in jobs and contacts. The brochures now allows you to create more advanced brochures from here, an example that I'll bring up. And also within here, Decorus Professional includes a more advanced report writer with the potential for additional bespoke reports. Within the marketing tab, you now have the facility to set up your board management, which will track your let boards to remind you to either take down or erect the boards, which also filters to a separate window within the property overview. From here, in the management tab, under the insurance, this also will filter through to a separate window to track your insurances separately. Within the More tab, you have additional fields to enter within here. Also within here, you now have occupancy. This gives you a void report and calculates the lost rents for a particular period, both individual or on a property portfolio basis. Within the Finance tab, you now have tenant schedules. So this is quite beneficial if you've got multi-lets. You'll be able to see all the schedules in one area. To demonstrate some of the additional features within the tenancy module, I have set up a few scenarios within here. The first one would be, you can now set schedules based on terms, which you would set these as defaults within the preference window. And when you come to activate those, they will now filter through to here based on what you've put in the preference window. The second scenario would be stepped rents. This is only available on commercial properties. So again, you would set your frequencies as you would normally, but when you change your status to activate the schedules, it now allows you to set up to 5 increases within the stepped rent from here. The third scenario is, now you can allocate multiple units to one tenancy. So by doing this, what you would do is add all those units within the one tenancy, which would then ask is if you want to calculate all these rents in one. So by doing that, that has added all those as one lump sum, and then you would go and activate as you would do normally. Another feature within here, once all your tenancies are at the active stage, you now have the ability to be able to check in and check out on a mass basis. So what will appear are all your active tenancies. So from here, you can set up the move-in date and just check them all in or out in one go. Going back into the tenancy, additional features within here, within the information bar, milestone dates. You have additional dates to be able to enter within here. And then down into your journal, you can now view jobs within the tenancy record. Now within the contact module, in any of the contact records, you now have the ability to set GDPR compliance. When you've given consent, it allows you to communicate with any of the contacts. If for any reason they want to be withdrawn from consent, this will disable you from communicating with them. The other features are within the jobs module. The changes within here are like the property record. It now gives you more reporting options. You can also add a job subtype to give you more filters. It also allows you to view up to 5 attachments within the details screen. And within the transaction window, it allows you to be able to add internal costs. Another feature within the job that's been added is work order automation. This allows you to set user permissions to approve each stage of a job, or you can configure job by job. So for example, within here, this job may not require approval, a quote approval from a landlord or tenant or a purchase order. So by deselecting those, it will grey those out. And it will tell you at which stage you are within those jobs. So it's saying that this job requires approval. So if you click on job approval, and yes, that now updates that that's been approved, and the next stage would require a quote from a contractor, or which stage would appear next. This is giving you a visual overview of what is going on within this job. Another additional feature that's been incorporated, it's called My Activity. So within here, it allows you to manage your own events and tasks. You can also set up or alter any of your personal information within here, and you can also set this to pop up at the beginning when you log into the screens. Also within here, Decorus Professional gives you the capability to post transactions faster. If you want more information on this, you can contact our office. The feature that is available in the landlord version only is in your Finance tab under Nominals for Property. You've now got additional fields so you can filter down your profit and loss report based on these fields. And then within the agent version only, within the landlord module, when you're creating large statements, what you can do is consolidate those statements down. So if you have lots of items within here, add to the statement, you can then consolidate those down. So if you show a view of that consolidated statement, all those items are down to 3 lines. There are also some additional features available as add-ons. If you are interested in any of these add-ons, please contact us on 0114 2307 305 or visit our website at www.decorus-pms.com. Thank you very much for joining our webinar today. We hope you enjoyed it.